Dodge this.
What's up, guys? Your boy Benny. We hate to lie to you, and we never do it on purpose, but there is something that we need to correct. Because in our documentary, we noted that a Secret Service sniper shot Thomas Crooks on the rooftop, killing him, because that's what everybody had said. That's what everyone had told us. That's what the Secret Service had said in congressional testimony. So to lie about something like that, I mean, geez, they're the ones testifying, right? That has criminal penalties to it if you lie to Congress. But lo and behold, we have now found out that once again, there is another suspicious lie. And we have photos of the firearm. Finally, it's been months now since President Trump ate a bullet. It's September. He was shot in early July. Now we find that the entire story has changed. You know, in fact, who took the shot that killed the assassin is very important. Where'd those bullets go? Well, everything that you've heard so far has, in fact, been a lie. Here we go. Congressional report. Bombshell. Trump assassination attempt reveals who really took the first shots at Thomas Crooks. A bombshell congressional report claims that the would-be Trump assassin, Thomas Crooks, was incapacitated by a local cop before he was killed by Secret Service. Uh-oh. What happened? 2 months after Crooks shot former president's ear in the Butler rally, a preliminary report by Clay Higgins, who's been doing really spectacular work here. We want to give a big shout out to Clay Higgins, who's a member of Congress and friend of the show, offer a different narrative than the one pushed by the FBI. While it was initially claimed that Crooks was shot in the head within seconds by a Secret Service sniper, Higgins' report claimed that it was actually a local SWAT operator who stopped the gunman's hail of bullets. The congressman said that the local cops shot hit Crooks's rifle and fragged his face, neck, shoulder, and area of the gun stock breaking up, which meant Crooks was unable to keep firing before he was killed. So this was the incapacitated shot, not the kill shot. Although, be sure it'd be nice to be able to have the body and the crime scene preserved, but we don't have that, do we? They incinerated the man's body, this monster's body, and then scrubbed the crime scene within seemingly seconds of the murder attempt on President Trump and the successful murder of Corey Comprotor. So this monster deserves, of course, to be treated with the highest investigation capacity that we have. Yet it was amazing when we went and filmed our documentary there. We were there with great recency to the actual assassination attempt. There was nothing, nobody, no feds, no one, no crime scene, no yellow tape. We were able to get up on the roof. It was wild. That blew me away. Comes after a mounting scrutiny, the FBI and Secret Service's investigation into the shooting, weeks after Higgins also revealed that Crooks's body was mysteriously cremated with approval from the FBI after just 10 days. Why would you cremate a body? Here's the rifle. You can see here that the end of the rifle, this would normally on any normal rifle be a hard rubberized or plastic end. The end of this rifle exploded with a bullet shot that hit the rifle. He was on a sloped roof, so you would assume that the butt of the rifle, if he's on a sloped roof, would be there on the slope, maybe visible. You can also see in the cell phone videos from that day that there was a visible body there on the rooftop. You can see Crooks lurking and lumbering upon the rooftop with the rifle. So this is finally we get to see like the actual AR style rifle and the stock of the end of the rifle where the bullet struck right here that blew up and sent the shrapnel incapacitating Crooks. The revelations from Higgins' bombshell report were raised last night. Fox News pundit Jesse Waters, who shared shock over the response and brought on Josh Hawley, who's done just some of the best work here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what Jesse Waters has reported, and the setup, or at the very least, like the lying from our federal government, doesn't look good.
A couple of weeks, the FBI and Secret Service give us, drip, drip, drip. Little info on the Trump shooting, but it never amounts to anything. The real investigative work's being done by Congress. A new report from Congressman Clay Higgins reveals that a local Butler SWAT team operator took the first shot at Crooks. damaging his rifle and ending his shooting spree before the Secret Service fully neutralized him. I didn't know that. New images released by the FBI show Crooks' rifle with apparently a damaged stock from the local officer's shot. But when the acting Secret Service Director, Ronald Rowe, testified, he made no mention of this local officer, gave his agency total credit for bringing down Crooks.
I am extremely proud of these actions and those taken by the counter-sniper team to neutralize the threat that prevented further loss of life. And I applaud the actions of our tactical teams that responded so quickly. The Secret Service counter-sniper neutralized the assailant within seconds after the assailant fired his weapon.
Why didn't the Secret Service chief mention that the locals were the first ones to get rounds off on Crooks, not the Secret Service? Why'd the Secret Service turn down a drone? Why'd they never pick up the radios they were supposed to use to communicate with locals with? Why wasn't the Wi-Fi working that day? Why wasn't there a counter-sniper team on the roof? And why aren't the FBI and Secret Service cooperating with congressional investigators?
Really? So shocking that you can't even get agreement in Washington, D.C. over a presidential assassination. You can't find agreement in Washington, D.C. when a president eats a bullet. They're still hiding, cloak and dagger, sending the bodies off to be cremated, forcing, effectively, members of Congress, Josh Hawley, who's done incredible work here, to try and subpoena and get this information from whistleblowers. All the information we've gotten from this has come from the whistleblowers. Here we go. The were drones used. Apparently, drones were not used. Whistleblowers tell me the local law enforcement partners and suppliers offered drones, Secret Service, before the rally. Secret Service declined. At every step, the Secret Service, when given an opportunity to utilize the space, the resources, the know-how, and the knowledge of the people who actually live in Butler, Pennsylvania, and protect Butler, Pennsylvania every single day, and know the landscape and the buildings, and the neighborhood, and everything, people also, right? Who know strange who know perps, right? And who understand, perhaps what a strange character would look like. We've spoken with a sniper about this. Like the sniper who saw Crooks first, we spoke with that guy. He knew, as a matter of fact, that dude was up to no good, right? But the calls all fell on deaf ears because, well, they absolutely were not prepared. They clearly weren't prepared to handle Crooks' body either. Again, for the life of me, I cannot figure out, well, one, why they keep using this childhood photo of Thomas Crooks when we know, when we actually know what he looks like now, which is an Antifa member, quite frankly. But then also, why get rid of the evidence, right? Why torch the body? And we learn more. Trump's Butler security detail was made up of VHS agents who took a 2-hour webinar ahead of the rally. Oh, man. So remember the Lady Ghostbusters, we call them? Apparently, deep state whistleblowers revealed to Senator Josh Hawley that most of the agents on Trump's security detail that day were amateur Homeland Security agents who had just 2 hours of training inside of a webinar. Inside job, God saved Trump's life that day. Yeah, this is wild. My new letter to Secret Service Director Rowe detailing the new whistleblower allegations, Homeland Security agents working at the Butler rally. Webinar training only. You can see this letter here on Josh Hawley's page. Josh Hawley going on Jesse Waters' show to discuss it. Without question, the biggest story certainly in the 2024 election is this assassination attempt. And it's the thing we have the least number of answers to. There you go.
Senator Josh Hawley's been in contact with whistleblowers and has new information he's going to exclusively share with us here at Primetime. So what now are we hearing from whistleblowers, Senator?
Well, what I've heard tonight, Jesse, is that most of the agents who were there at that rally in Butler were not Secret Service agents. They were, in fact, Homeland Security agents. And get this, most of those Homeland Security agents, the only training that they received was an online webinar, a 2-hour online webinar. And I'm told that about half the time, the sound to the webinar didn't even work. So think about this. The President of the United States, former President of the United States, Donald Trump, is sent out on stage. Most of the people there aren't trained. They're not qualified. They only got a webinar training, and even that didn't work. It is absolutely outrageous.
You're saying, and if we're to believe that there's this big Iranian threat, that this is coming down the pike and they had to beef up security, their idea of beefing up security was not putting more Secret Service agents and counter snipers, was just throwing in a bunch of guys that have never done this before from Homeland Security and sending them into some Zoom training that didn't work?
That's exactly right. I'm told that actually agents, Homeland Security agents, were pulled off of child exploitation cases, child endangerment cases, the stuff they normally do. They don't normally do protective detail work at all. They were pulled off those cases, said, here, you're going to go guard the former president of the United States. Watch this webinar. Oops, it doesn't really work. Oh, that's all right. Go out into the field anyway. Jesse, this is a nightmare, and we still have no answers. The only reason we know this stuff is because of whistleblowers. It's outrageous.
That is absolutely crazy. I can't even wrap my head around it. When you heard the first story about this counter sniper shoot, I thought it was the guys on the high roof. Then I heard it was the guys farther away. And now I'm hearing the first shot that was gotten off was by a local, and he wasn't even perched. He was on the ground.
Yeah, all I can say is that is not what the director told Congress, and you just played the clip. I was sitting right there in the Senate when he testified that it was a Secret Service counter sniper who neutralized the threat, that is, took out crooks. He said nothing about another sniper, a local, nothing at all. Jesse, this is a pattern now. Why aren't these guys out there, Secret Service and FBI, doing regular briefings, answering questions, giving us answers? They're not doing any of that. They're hoarding the information. They're keeping it from the public. And this has gone on too long. I mean, people have got to get fired for this.
No, they do. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much again, Senator Hawley, and hopefully these whistleblowers continue to talk to your office. We appreciate it.